Hello, this is Rhondda Racing, and we've just had the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it was mental. So much has happened, and I'm going to try and keep this video short, so I can't go over all of it, but it's crazy. And I'm not even going to. Normally, I'd start from the bottom and go up, or I'd consider starting from the beginning of the race and doing things sort of in chronological order, but I'm honestly. I'm just gonna sort of have to go off my brain here because there's so much happened in that race. I'm undoubtedly gonna miss half of it. So it started with a lot of the Ferrari-powered cars in the top 10. Things were looking good for them. Gasly was looking great up in 7th. It was sort of Verstappen and Hamilton were having a great fight for first, and after that, it was sort of a bit of a tyre battle. It was like, can people make the one-stops work? Leclerc came through on the mediums at the start, switched to the hards, was sort of getting a bit beaten up on the hards. They were a bit too slow, but you could finish the race on it. And then the all-important moment, which took this race from being still a pretty good race, and just blew it into being crazy, was actually the bottom of our list here. Valtteri Bottas's engine expired. Puff of smoke, and he rolled his car off to the side. And quite surprisingly, honestly, he seemed like he was in a good place. It seemed like it shouldn't take too long to get that car out of there. But there was a safety car. And the safety car changed everything. Leclerc could come in off of his hards and get on some decent tyres. A load of people whose tyres were getting a bit worse could get onto softs. Verstappen from the lead went onto softs. Hamilton staying out there on his worn mediums. And it was mental. The restart was crazy. Albon got past Vettel, I believe it was, up into third, and Verstappen got past Hamilton again, back up into first. It was crazy. Leclerc took Vettel, and Vettel coming back on him had the tiniest of touches. Wheels just like tapped. Right? If it was one of their faults, it was Vettel's. He came over a bit too soon, but it was like the gentlest of taps, and Leclerc's suspension just exploded, absolutely detonated, and Vettel got a puncture and was sent off as well. Stroll then, poor boy, got taken out by debris from the Ferraris, which broke his suspension. So then we had another safety car. And after that safety car, Gasly was in second. Oh no, Gasly was in third behind Verstappen and Albon. Then Hamilton took Gasly immediately, obviously. We didn't actually. Hamilton pitted again from second, which was why he was in fourth. And people didn't think there'd even be more than a single lap of racing, but it did start with a couple laps left. And Hamilton took Gasly immediately, but then went to take Albon not long afterwards, hit Albon and spun him, lost a bit of his wing, lost the position back to Gasly, and Albon was sent back to the back of the pack. Only finishing ahead of Kubica. Hulkenberg's down there because he overtook Magnussen before the safety car line where he's allowed to overtake. And so we've ended up with this sort of just crazy setup where Albon's all the way back down. Russell is 12th, which is crazy for one of the Williams. Magnussen and Grosjean, they fell back a bit. Unfortunately, they're fallen basically back to the back. It doesn't look as bad as it should look, probably, because so many DNFs and spins and such. Kvyat just managed to scrape 10th. Sainz, another incredible race. Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, both great races. Ricciardo, I think he took Magnussen out as well. He took Magnussen out. Magnussen getting really wrecked this race. Tried to overtake him, messed up, had a penalty, but then even with his penalty managed to get past Magnussen eventually, and then benefited from the safety cars to get him up to 7th. Mental. There is a possibility, having now been made this video, there is the possibility that we might get a situation where Hamilton takes a penalty. I'm not going to wait until the classification's out. At this point, I think probably it won't happen. But we could see McLaren being the second team to take a podium. And just thoughts from this race. One, it's amazing how much the perceived boringness of a lot of modern day, and the legit boringness of some modern day F1, it really comes from just the reliability of the cars. Because all it took was Bottas's engine to explode to turn this into just a good race, into absolute chaos. Because that brought the two Ferraris together, who were before on entirely different setups, different tyres, would have been nowhere near each other. And that caused that crash, which brought out another safety car, which mixed up things even more. Put Hamilton into this mad dash for the finish, which caused him to be a bit too aggressive on Albon. He took his own admittance to that mistake. And all of that just absolutely threw the whole order into chaos. We almost had 3 Hondas on the podium. That's mental. There's the... you can see Leclerc's wheel just hanging off there. Both Toro Rossos have now been on the podium before the second Red Bull car has. Oh yeah, this was another one. On the first pit stop when Hamilton tried to undercut Verstappen, it was looking good for Verstappen to come out ahead, and Williams released Kubica right in front of him. I think Kubica got a drive-through for that or something, some sort of penalty, and ended up way at the back. He was actually beating Russell for a lot of the early part of that. There's Sainz. That's you. From watching this video, you have now seen Sainz's car in this race more than we saw him on the official broadcast, as always. Yeah, absolutely mental race. Like I said, I'm sort of lost for words. Gasly actually is legit better in the Toro Rosso than in Red Bull. Like, he's actually scored. That last Red Bull seat is actually cursed, though, isn't it? Like, Gasly couldn't do it. Albon now gets punted off when it looks like he can do it, and Gasly manages it in the Toro Rosso. Like, what the hell? This race was a great way to come near to the end of the season. Unfortunately, it wasn't the finale. We still have one race left, but yeah, I think even in the back parts of the standings, I don't think this actually changes much. McLaren are going to stay ahead of Renault for 4th, so that's looking less likely that will change hands. Sainz is going to be pretty confident in his position, I think. Verstappen does go ahead of the 2 Ferrari drivers, looking like he'll probably keep that now. The fact that they both got 0 points from this, so such a crazy race to come off right at the end of everything. So anyway, that was my short take. I could spend some more time going through and trying to really dive into each person's race, but like, I feel like I'd need to rewatch the race in order to really do that justice with how much happened. So just my quick thoughts, my main things to take away from a fantastic and entertaining Mexican Grand Prix. Why did I say Mexican again? Brazilian Grand Prix. I typed in Mexico when I was looking for the flag as well. God damn, losing my mind. This race has melted me.